go.
Hello, sci-fi gangsters. This is a show where we talk about science fiction, video games, and comic books, but really it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a show. We've all been on our various vacations. The funny thing about it is we've all been to Disney World. Now, two of us went together and one person went by themselves because you also went to Combo Breaker. I'm telling you, there's been a lot that's happened since our last episode
Agreed.
and this particular episode. Jeremy, he's having internet issues because there's a lot of storms going on in the south during this time, and I wanted to make sure that we did some kind of show today because once again, it's been a while, and we
Yeah.
can't disappoint the three listeners, you know,
At
or
least
the
three.
at least three
At
listeners.
least at least three listeners, right?
Well, those three listeners, why don't you just send us a message? Tell how are you dealing with the storms? How what do you do? Do you tie your trampoline down?
Oh Lord.
We'll just turn this into like a terrestrial radio show.
We
But
should.
anyways, the topic, no particular topic today. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Diablo. Playing a lot of Diablo lately, and maybe we'll kind of talk about our various vacations that we had. But first, I'm Anthony Nanar, media scholar and person who was recently promoted to lecturer at Auburn University. So there's a
I just
little
want to give
happy thing.
you a round of applause for that, sir. Well done.
Very good. They told us that three people would be hired as lecturer, and three people went out for it, and they only hired, I'm guessing, one.
And that was
So,
you.
and that was me. So interesting. So yeah, that's I don't know, but maybe
Fantastic.
two, but I
And
know for one,
what department was this again?
this is communication, the communication.
Communications department. So you are a professional communicator now.
I've always been a professional communicator, but now I'm a lecturer.
But now they're gonna pay you for it.
Before I was only an instructor, I was instructing students. Now I'm lecturing the students.
So what's the difference?
It's just a title.
Oh,
It's all about it's like lieutenant and sergeant,
oh,
right? Although technically it'd be the opposite,
it'd be
right?
the other way
Sergeant.
around. So
Yeah.
you're a lieutenant now.
Yes, and I'm
Okay.
teaching the exact same classes. I'm doing the exact same thing. I have the exact same boss, the same role. It's just now that it's a semi-permanent position. I'm up for they can get rid of me whenever they want.
Mm,
But there's
careful.
no limited because my last job was limited term. After 5 years, they're like, see ya. So that's why I had to apply for a new job, even though it was the exact same job. So
Gotcha.
there's a little pay increase, not much.
That's good. Get your extra $10. That's good.
Not much on that pay increase, but yeah. So there's some positive news. I
Good.
went to Orlando, Florida, as well. Before, so you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll pass it over to the microphone to Acidtrain. Acid, what's going on with you?
Well, I've got some job news too. I have applied for the director's position um, for transportation. So I've been interviewed already. I've had that interview.
Wow.
I think it went fairly well. And
Did you in this interview? Did you also say that you had vacation planned and you're going
well,
on that vacation?
it's funny because we were in Orlando. I was getting on a monorail headed to the Contemporary Resort. We were going to have lunch, and the guy that was conducting the interviews calls my phone, and he was like, "Hey, man, are you available to come in on Monday and do this interview?" And I was like, "Well, I would love to do that." Unfortunately, I'm not even in the state right now. And on the Monday that he was wanting me to come in, I was actually going to be in the Bahamas. So I
Oh,
told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm on a vacation with my family right now. We're about to hop on a cruise. I won't be back until the next week." I was like, "Is there any way you can postpone this?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, no problem. We were trying to get it done quick, but no worries. We really want to talk to you, and that's fine. Just come in that next Monday, and we'll give you." So I met with them this past Monday, just a couple of days ago, and it went really well. So hopefully
so
maybe.
what is it? So I thought you were already the director of school bus drivers. Is this
No,
something different now?
I my official title is the assistant supervisor, and there's two of us. There's me, and there's another assistant
Yeah, the
supervisor.
assistant to the supervisor. But go ahead.
Yes, and so the director is retiring in December, and he's announced his retirement. And his position came open about a month ago, and I was hounded and hounded to apply for it by various people, and so I really didn't know if that was something I wanted to do. And I thought about it, and talked to my family, and that kind of stuff. And I even asked my current boss. I was like, "Hey, do you really is this something you think I could actually do? Because I really don't want to waste anybody's time, because
Yeah.
and it's like money's not an issue. Is this something that I could even do?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, you could do it, no problem. I think you'd be good at it." I was like, "Okay," so I applied for it, and they gave me the interview, and like I said, I think it did, I think we did fairly well. I think I did fairly well in the interview, and hopefully things will work out, and I'll get a nice 30% raise if I
Well,
get it.
very good.
So
It seems like you're moving on up in the public transportation world.
yeah.
As long as you always remember that the wheels on the bus, they go round and round. As long as you always remember that.
Well, if I get this position, I can make them go wherever I want. So
Okay, well, it
they
would change things.
we
Change
can we
things
can
up.
talk to Elon Musk, and we can make him fly in the air and zoom across the city. So
Very good, and
we'll
then
see.
ruin Twitter too,
We'll
apparently.
ruin them. We will ruin it.
Ruin
We will.
ruin school buses as well. Very good, excellent. Yeah, you also had a very good Disney vacation.
I
Once
did.
again, there's been a lot that's happened, and I haven't even talked about the two hot toys that I got in that are there in the background. You
I
can actually.
saw
Oh,
I saw one of them. Yep, there I saw that one. I saw Captain America.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the other one? I don't
Can you
know
see?
which one is new. You're gonna have to point to the new one.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is new.
Doctor Strange is new. Okay, I see Doctor Strange.
I got Doctor Strange, and I got the Sam Wilson Captain America that came in. So
Yes.
pretty excited about those.
After 2 years of waiting, is that correct?
The Sam Wilson Captain America, I ordered that. I want to say when the show came out, which was during the pandemic, if I remember correctly, or was like before the pandemic. So
Was
it's
it
been a
that
while.
long ago? Okay.
It's
Wow.
been a long time since been waiting for that, but probably about 2 years waiting for that thing to come in. The Doctor
Okay.
Strange almost came in almost immediately because it just
Mm-hmm.
happened to be available. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and of course
Nice.
you can put a lot of them. You can do monthly payments, so that definitely helps out rather than forking up the what was my Doctor Strange $425 for Doctor Strange rather than doing a solid $425 off the bat. You do $100 per month. That's not that bad, really, if you think about
Good
it.
grief. So
So
what company makes these figures?
it's the Hot Toys or a Sideshow is like the main thing.
Okay.
But yeah, they specialize in like
Gotcha.
high quality action figures. They also do a lot of statues and everything as well. So like it's like if you're an action figure collector, it is like the pinnacle
Oh, okay.
of
So this is
collecting.
not made by Milton Bradley or
No, no, these are
or the Barbie
and
Corporation.
if you actually
Yeah.
take a look, my favorite thing about the reason why I get them is because the head busts are they look just like the actors.
Okay.
So that's always I don't think I would buy one if it didn't have the head sculpt of the actor on
Gotcha.
there. I know sometimes when people pose theirs, they because a lot of times when you order them, it'll come with the maskless head sculptor, which
Yep.
looks like the actor right, or actress, and then they have like the mask version. And many
Mm-hmm.
people they'll choose to put the mask version when they pose them. But for me, it's like that the quality is the how real it looks. So I
Right. Yeah.
always
Okay.
prefer to do.
Well, good.
I would pick it up and bring it over here, but there's
Don't touch it. I don't want you to break $500 worth of plastic. I don't want you
they're
to do
not
that.
that breakable. People post things on it. I'm on the various social media accounts dedicated to hot toys, and people post like
Okay.
horror stories of like the shelves breaking and breaking all their hot toys. But they're not that breakable. Like you have to you kind of have to be an idiot to break them.
Okay. Well, good.
To be careless, like drop it or do something or be too aggressive with it. But for
Or
the
let
most
your
part,
kids play with it.
I let them touch a little bit, but yeah, we're not playing. They're not playing with that.
They're not
Recently
zooming
found
around.
out. Recently found out that because Victor, he's really into Pokemon right now, and he's got all his Pokemon cards.
Oh.
He's got them on the floor and everything. He's got them all over the place. And like one day he came up to me, he's like, Dad, this is a $700 card. I was like, okay, because I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like,
Yeah,
no, I
sure
looked
it
it up, it's
is.
$700. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was like, and one day, because he kept saying, oh, this is worth 100, this is worth 50, this is worth. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look him up. I'm just gonna look up how much some of these cards are.
Sure.
And he just had a Charizard for whatever reason.
Mm.
According to this price chart, this price guide, Charizards are always way more valuable than any other card. For I don't know what it
Depends
is.
on the Charizard.
Okay,
Depends on which
well I
one you
looked it
have.
up. I looked at the one he showed me. It was $400. Then I looked at, and
Wow.
then he's got a bunch of Charizards, and I'm talking about they were ranged from like 50 to 100 to 300, and I made sure that they were the right card, and I looked
Right.
at it had a little picture,
Yeah, they
and it
should
looked
have
just like
they should have the number on them. You should be able to
had
just
the
punch
number
the
on there.
number
I
in.
made
Yep.
sure that, and I matched the picture to it. And he's got cards that are hundreds of dollars, and he's got a
Cool.
lot of them. So, and of course he has them laying on the floor.
You need to put yeah, I say you need to put those in sleeves or in a binder or
I
something.
gave him some of my old football sleeves. I need to order some more because he didn't know the difference between his $1 card and his $700 card, which he was just kind of. And kids will trade it.
Woo! Oh
Kids will
yeah.
trade these cards. I was like, "How'd you get this card anyways?" Like, "Oh, I traded it." And it was like $100 card. I was like, "How did you even get this card? It doesn't look like
Mm-hmm.
any of the cards we bought you." It's like, "Oh yeah, I got it from someone in a trade." So kids are just trading $100 cards. Parents don't even know. Now, of course, it's the price guide, so someone would have to spend the money on it. But that's
Oh
the
yeah.
value.
Exactly. But yeah,
But
interesting.
anyways,
Good old
yeah,
Pokemon.
you're what's the chat say? What about your Pokemon card? What do they say in the chat right now?
Dude, the chat's going so fast I can't
What
even
what are
keep
your
up.
what are your favorite
That's
Pokemon cards?
that's what's happening right now.
Tell us. Call in at
Yeah.
I remember when I did that all the time at the
One
radio
eight
station.
seven seven call in. Yeah. Like it's
Call into our hotline and request music. By the way, that's the only way I got people to call in is to have them request like, hey, call in and request a song. Which,
yeah.
when you think about it, like it wasn't. I mean, obviously this was like 15 years ago when I was doing
Oh, I
terrestrial
remember.
radio. But even then, like there was Pandora and stuff. There was no reason for you to be calling into a radio station to hear a song. I don't know. Maybe you should just enjoy talking
They
to the
just
DJ.
they just wanted to hear themselves on the radio. And hopefully some of their friends also heard them on the radio.
And I loved doing it. To me, that was the fun part. Like I felt like a lot of the DJs there were kind of just in it just to kind of play the music and stuff. But for me, I wanted to do something. I wanted to have interactions with the audience. I want to get them on the air. I want to do all of that because to me that was fun.
Yeah.
But and then radio died.
Yeah. Radios. I'm shocked some of these radio stations are still going, honestly. Because I mean,
I do not
with
know.
with YouTube Music and like you said, Pandora and all these like with YouTube Music, I don't have any ads. I don't have to worry about commercials. Like I just listen to music. I can punch in the song I want. I can make my own playlist. I can do whatever I want. I can do random stuff, so it gives me random stuff, and
Listen
I
to
don't have to listen to
podcasts.
commercials. I listen to podcasts. Yeah, I can do whatever I want without any ads whatsoever. With commercial or with radio, you got to listen to a DJ. You got to listen to commercials. You got to listen to stupid little segments that are stupid, and I mean, you don't have to do that with YouTube
It's true.
Music. You just
You get
you
what you want.
get music. It's crazy. It's like you remember when MTV had music videos, music
Mm-hmm,
TV.
mm-hmm.
Remember that they don't have that anymore. It's gone. It's
Well, there you go.
Beavis and Butthead do not review or commentate music videos anymore. No, they don't. You know what they commentate now?
I have no idea.
Reality show clips.
I didn't even know Beavis and Butthead was still around.
Beavis and Butthead is still around. Yep.
Well, there you go. Well, you get a little TV show talk today. But your Disney vacation was good. So a quick
Yes.
recap. So Linda had a weightlifting meet. We went down to Orlando. It was originally supposed to be her just going down for her meet by herself. And then it turned into me coming. And then it turned into another family, which we do a lot of vacations with all the time. They came and then they brought their kids. And then we brought our kids. And then Alinda's family came up to Orlando. So it turned into a whole thing, right? So we were there for the weekend. And then Alinda said, you know what? We're here for like a week, basically. I'll let you have one day on a Saturday. You can go, no kids, you can go do whatever you want in Orlando. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. So what we ended up doing is me and Jeremy went to Epcot. It was just me,
Nice.
me and Jeremy walking around Epcot. Enjoyed it. Went on the Guardians of Galaxy ride, which uh, I don't know if this needs to be its own segment, but the how to get into lines at Disney World
Oh god, we
is
can talk about that.
it's a freaking nightmare. But anyways, we went on the new
Talk
Guardians
about
of
it.
Galaxy ride. That was a whole lot of fun. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we did a little bit of drinking around the world. The
Nice.
margarita in Mexico is fantastic, by the way. And the guac is also good, and then other things that I had good as well, including a beer in Germany, which was fantastic. We had all kinds of good stuff there. Obviously, when you're walking around Epcot, you do a lot of walking, so you're pretty drained by that day. And then a couple days later, I went with the family to Magic Kingdom. The
Mm.
idea was supposed to be Magic Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
However, and a lot of this had to do with me, is because I really wanted to get on the Tron ride, and
Oh, it's so good.
the only way to get on the Tron ride is either, once again, we can have a whole segment on this, and maybe we should do a whole show
We could talk about
on
lines
the
and
fast
things.
lane, the fast lane versus what the genie versus whatever. Anyways, the virtual line, which is a nightmare. So, anyways, in order for me to get on Tron, I either had to pay, which in retrospect I probably should have just done, but it was like $20 per person. So like if it was me and Victor to go on one ride was $40. And I was just like, really? I'm paying
And you still have to
$40
wait.
and you still have to
You still
wait.
have to wait
Now,
like an hour. Yeah.
now the thing is, it was in the morning, so maybe the line might not have been that long.
No, it was
That's
still.
it was still
It
long.
was.
Anyways,
Yes. I'll tell you that in a minute.
so we had to wait until 1 p.m. to even be able to sign up for the virtual queue. And I'm talking about at right when it hit
Mm-hmm.
1 p.m.,
Yes.
immediately, bam. And I
Yep.
had to, and it doesn't give you an estimated time.
Nope.
It says what group you're
Yep.
in.
Yep.
So you have no idea how long it's going to take to get through all these groups. So, for example, just hypothetically, let's say you're group 10, right? You don't know if it's going to take you 3 hours to get to group 10, an hour, 30 minutes. I had absolutely no idea. If I would have known that it would have took us until 4:30 to be able to get in line, and the line itself was an hour,
Yep.
probably a little more than an hour, I would not have done it.
Okay.
But it was a fun ride. Tron was
Yeah.
fun.
Yes, it was.
I had a little panic attack because we waited in line for, it was probably an hour 20 minutes. And we get up to it, we're about to get in the ride, and the guy looks at me and Victor, and he's like, "Hey, come here." And he takes Victor and he gets him and he starts measuring him. I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh no, is Victor too short for this ride?" Ended up being okay, but that I
Okay.
almost
Good.
thought we waited, and not only do we wait in line, we waited all day
Yes.
to get on this one ride because it was the one ride I wanted to do. I will say that the this was Victor's first time being on a roller coaster,
Oh, really?
and yeah, and so not that particular ride, but we went on Space Mountain,
Yep.
and we went on that the what is it, like, the not the Seven Dwarves, but the other one, like it's like
Oh, Thunder Mountain Railroad.
there you go, there, boom,
Yeah.
Thunder Mountain. And
Yeah.
Seeing his face when
Oh,
he was
yeah.
on the road was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Was worth everything because I mean it's fun. Space Mountain, it's okay. Yeah, seeing his face on the roller coaster and him just like loving it, like was 100% on board with roller coasters. I was like, yes, this is good.
Good.
And he loved Tron
Good.
too.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite a long wait. And the funny thing about it is, so it's like 5, 6 p.m., right?
Mhm.
And he's throwing a fit that we're not going to Hollywood Studios. Throwing a fit.
Oh,
We
really?
spent all day at Magic Kingdom, and he knew that the plan was Magic Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios.
Mhm.
So Alinda was like, "All right, we'll just stop by Hollywood Studios real quick." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! It's
There's
6
no
p.m.
There's no real quick. Like, and yeah.
and we've been here since it opened, and it's 6 p.m. right now, and you want to go to another park at this time." Luckily, we ended up not doing it, but but yeah, that's why we did not go to Hollywood Studios because we spent all day at Magic Kingdom. It was fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, the majority of it is waiting in line. We had a
Mhm.
pretty decent meal, which is saying something because
Where'd you eat?
we went to the Beauty and the Beast restaurant.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Damn, I've never been to that one.
So the food was good. The food was really good, which is saying a lot because if you go to Disney World, you know that majority of the food is garbage, unless you go
It's
to
not
Epcot.
great. Yeah,
At
Epcot food
Epcot,
is
it
good.
get
Yes,
so
Epcot
like
food is
going
good.
going any of the food in the parks is all garbage.
Hmm.
Really, I want to be honest with you. I know everybody loves uh what's the place outside of Universal Studios? What's that called? Like the eating area outside of Universal, not
Oh,
Disney Springs, but
yeah, I know.
anyway,
I can't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking
like the
about.
food and shopping. So everybody loves the Chocolate Emporium,
Yeah,
and
the
I've been
where
there
the
several
chocolate
times.
emporium is and all that stuff, and
It's not
Bonefish
good,
Grill and stuff.
but it's not good. So Hard Rock
Hey,
Cafe,
hey, Bonefish was good.
you liked Bonefish.
Bonefish was good. We enjoyed that
Okay. So
because well,
I've been to Hard
we
Rock
ordered
Cafe.
we ordered all their
Yeah.
sushi stuff, and it was really good. If you like sushi, so
All right. Well, very good. Good to know. But the Beauty and Beast food was good, but it was probably the most expensive food that we got in Orlando. Like it was like a ridiculous price,
oh, yeah, you're
and
gonna pay it.
there's no show. They say that there's like a show, and there's
What?
no show.
Is
There's
there
like
a
a guy in
character?
a beast costume that walks around. That's it.
That's it. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
So Belle didn't come around. The teapots didn't
There
come
was no bell,
around.
no teapots. Not when we were there.
Wow, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear
We
that.
spent we spent like $300 on
I
a
was gonna
meal.
guess. I was gonna guess $400. Yep.
Now I'll say this: the food was good. I had escargot, first time I ever had escargot, and it was, I'll say it, phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Then I had a filet mignon, which was fine,
Yep.
which is good. It was good. Yeah.
If you ever go to Paris, get the escargot. It's
Oh, the
good.
escargot in Paris is good.
Yes, fantastic.
Oh,
Just find you a little mom and pop shop and get your. You have to bring a translator unless you speak fluent French.
I totally thought you were talking about Epcot. I
No.
totally. That's
Oh,
where
no,
my
no, no,
mind
no.
went.
Oh, sorry. No, I meant actual Paris. We went when I was in high school. The band went when I was a junior, and my girlfriend at the time, her dad spoke fluent French, and so he
Yes.
was one of the chaperones. So when we went to Paris, we went to the Louvre and Eiffel Tower and stuff. Well, he took us around to these little just local eateries, and man, it was. Of course, he was speaking, he was ordering for us, and all this stuff. Man, it was so good, it was so good. But yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, but
I will say this about Disney World and the Tron experience. So we did the
okay. You went on the Tron ride. Go ahead.
yes, we went on the Tron ride. We did the exact same thing you did, probably at the exact same moment you did, because we were going to try to do the ride reserve in the morning, and my wife was like, "Oh yeah, we can start reserving at 7 a.m. and
Yeah.
you can hit the button, and at 7 a.m. you can reserve your group number or whatever." Well, 7:02 rolled around, and she goes, "Oh, I need to go do the Tron thing real quick," but it was booked at 7:02. It was booked full, and the next slot was 1 o'clock. Like you said, and so we're in line at the Jungle Cruise. And
Hmm.
so we're waiting in line at the Jungle Cruise, and it was, getting close to 1 o'clock. And I looked at her, I was like, "Hey, it's almost 1 o'clock. You got like 3 minutes before one." And I have a picture of her like hitting refresh on her phone at 1 o'clock, like trying to get a spot. And so, 1 o'clock hits and she's hitting the refresh. And, we got in, and we were group like 182 or something like that. And so my wife, being the genius accountant that she is, started doing her math in her head because they were at like group 60 or 90 or something like that
Yeah.
at the time when she was making reservations. And she goes, "Okay, well, the park's been open since like 8 or 8:30 or whatever it was, and they're already at 90.
Mm.
So with this many hours, if they're just at 90, then she did a little so if we're in group 160 or whatever it was, then we ought to be getting on around 8 o'clock." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that's good. It'll be, getting dark and, that kind of stuff. And we'll wait in line for, 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever. And then when we ride it, it'll be dark because, the Tron ride, when that little space where you go outside is all
Yeah.
lit up. It's all lit up at night, and it's awesome. And
Oh,
so,
cool.
I mean, she nailed it right on the head. We got in line at like 8:02 and went through, waited in the line but for about an hour. I think we only waited like 45 minutes in line. So, cause it went really pretty fairly steady. And we all got on it. Me, my wife got on it. Both my daughters got on it. Even my youngest was like, she did not want to do the bike though.
Oh,
So my
yeah.
wife and her got into the ones where you just sit up with the bar. So she did that, but she hated it. My youngest daughter hated it. She was terrified.
Didn't like the ride.
Yeah, but me and my oldest, we were on the bikes and we're like, yeah, let's do this, and we did it, and we got shot out. What I love about Tron is, your average roller coaster, especially over the last 10, 15 years, you have your incline where it's and you get to the top and then it just drops you. Yeah, there's none of that in Tron. You start and it counts you down from three. You go three, two, one, and then they just shoot you like a
Yeah.
freaking cannon, and you just go and you don't stop until it's over. And I just loved it, every little bit of it. So, but it was a nice little experience. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. Did you go on Space Mountain?
We did not do Space Mountain. We didn't have time. We did 13, no, hang on, 14 rides in 12 hours, which
Okay.
was a win at Disney World. That is
That is
that
that
is
is very fast.
that is 14. Oh, no, we did stay in a Disney resort. We stayed
Hmm.
at Port Orleans. So we got 30-minute early access to Magic Kingdom. So we got in 30 minutes earlier than all of the peasants, you know.
Nice. Yeah.
The people who did not stay in the Disney resorts. Granted, there were still a lot of people, getting in.
Yeah.
But when they let you in, everybody dispersed. Of course, everybody's shooting towards Space Mountain, right? Everybody. Space Mountain, all the roller coasters and that kind of stuff. So we, with our kids, like we wanted to ride what's the Goofy ride over there by it's a roller coaster, but it's like the roller coaster light. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
But we did that. We did Dumbo. We did like some of the little stuff like Peter Pan, Small World, that kind of stuff. We like grouped them all up. So in the span of like an hour, we did like 4 or 5 rides, and it was great. And we Genie Plused um, Haunted Mansion. Which one? We did a few. Oh, Thunder Mountain Railroad. Fast past that one. Um, and a couple of more, and we ended up fast passing those. But the thing about fast pass, which you probably figured out, of course, Genie Plus costs like what, $50 a person or something like
Yeah.
that, or
It's
forty
kind of
bucks.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And you reserve one. Well, you can only reserve one at a time, and after you get done with that one, or after you check in, that's when you can reserve your
Yeah.
next one. So you can
Yeah.
only get in like if you stay 12 hours, you can probably book maybe 5.
Right.
So is it worth it? Depending on what you're wanting to ride, yeah, I guess it's kind of worth it. But and it wasn't super crowded either. So I
I,
think we
I always feel like I think with the newer rides, you need to, like, it's almost like, okay, so if it's a brand new ride where you know it's going to be
yeah.
hard to get in, like Tron or Guardians of
Mm-hmm.
the Galaxy
True.
or Smuggler's Run or whatever, like it's the main
Yes.
ride of the park. Like I feel like you need to fast pass that one. You need
Yes.
to so just spend the
Because you're
$20
still
per.
you're still going to wait. You're not going to wait an hour, but you're still going to wait 10, 15 minutes
You're
to
still
get
gonna
on the
wait.
ride. Yeah, you're still going to
But
wait.
lock that in, and
Yeah.
then what's so clear when you go to these parks is that first thing in the morning lines are not that long. So
No.
if there's one outside like Space Mountain or whatever, you're like, I want to go on that one. Get there first thing, go straight there,
Yep.
wait 30 minutes, ride the ride,
If
or
that, and then you can do it again with Fast
you
Pass
can
if
do it
you want
again,
to. Yeah.
or wait until the afternoon, like not afternoon, but like nighttime when people are starting
Yes.
to go home,
Yes.
because then the lines they go down as well. So
Hmm.
I feel like that's definitely the strategy. But the only thing is, like,
Yep.
when you have kids and everything, you
Once
end up doing what everybody else does.
once the fireworks start, doesn't matter what park you're at, because all of them have fireworks. Once the fireworks start, that's when you need to head to a ride because now
Mhm.
everybody's watching the fireworks. So you get on whatever you want for like 30 minutes. So you
Mhm.
probably get maybe 2 or 3 rides in while the fireworks are going. So
Yep, definitely.
that's the
Very
that's
good.
the strategy. But yeah, we ended up doing Smugglers Run. We did Hollywood Studios. We did Smugglers Run. We
Which one?
happened.
Remind me which one Smugglers Run.
Okay, well, let me set the stage for you. Have you been to Hollywood Studios
Yes,
since the Star Wars stuff?
some Star Wars stuff was there.
Okay. Now I know I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm more of a Trekkie, but the Star Wars Hollywood Studios is extremely disappointing.
Okay.
And I'll say that because like the atmosphere is great. Walking around, the aesthetics, like everything is really cool to look at. It's great, it's fun to just kind of walk around in there. There are two rides. Two. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all there is. And the rest of the little holes that are in there are either shops or refreshment stands. So there's
Yeah.
more places to spend money than there are to just enjoy yourself. You're like, oh, okay. So you have Smuggler's Run, and I don't know what the other one is, but there's one more.
Right.
But we did
Rise of the
Smuggler's,
Resistance.
maybe something like that. It used to be, I can't remember what it used to be. There used to be another one. But anyway, we get in there and we're walking around taking pictures, that kind of stuff. We see Chewbacca and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And we're looking for rides. I'm like, where are the rides? Where are the rides? So I'm looking around and we literally can't find anything. I'm like, is there no rides in this section of the park? And we come across this little hole, and there's a little sign up there that says 30-minute wait. And I'm like, oh, what's this? So I'm thinking it's just like a little carousel or something, a little Star Wars carousel, just wait for 30 minutes. Hey, let's do this, and my wife was like, oh, what's that? I was like, I don't know, because you can't, there's no sign or anything of what the ride is. And there's a little plaque. I kid you not. It was this big. Okay.
Hmm.
There's a plaque, literally this big, that says Smuggler's Run on it, and a little expert, or whatever it says, like some Star Wars knowledge. And then right above it is the queue times for the fast pass and the queue time for the peasant line. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is Smuggler's Run. Had no idea what Smuggler's Run was. Had no idea. So, hey, let's just do this. And so we got in. We waited about half an hour. Got on. Did that experience. That was cool. That was a very cool little ride. So, have you? I get. Did you end
Is
up?
that
Have
is
you?
that the one where you have a pilot and you're
You have two pilots. You have two gunners, and you
hmm,
have two engineers. So it's a party of six. And your two pilots are literally flying you around. Me and my
yeah.
youngest daughter were the gunners, and we actually did not have any engineers, which I guess they took off of the program. They were able to do that for, I don't know how they did it, but they did a fantastic job. And it's about, I don't know, 3 minute ride or something. I mean, it's a fairly long ride. I mean, you're in this thing and you're pushing buttons and like, oh yeah, hit the clamps and hit the guns and fly this way. And it's very high intensity, but it's really cool. And it's very universal, where they've got the screen, but you're in the ship and you're doing the stuff.
Yeah.
But it was, oh man, it responded beautifully. The buttons, when as soon as you hit it, it shoot out stuff. I mean, it was great. It was like playing a video game. Best video game
Nice.
ever. It was amazing.
Yeah, sounds like a whole lot of fun. I
Yep,
think Hollywood
highly
Studios
recommend
is
it.
definitely, if we ever go back. By the way, Alinda hates theme parks, and like it was
Mm.
clear when we went to Disney World because so the first time we went to Disney World, she was pregnant, so she couldn't go on the other rides. So I
I got
thought,
you.
oh, okay, maybe
That's
that's
why
why
she
she didn't have
hated
a
it.
good time,
Yeah.
right? Then we went to Universal like a couple years later, and she hated all the rides there. And then we went to Disney World, and she hated everything. So she just hates theme parks.
I got you.
So yeah, so it's unfortunate for Lexi and Victor who loved it. So
Yeah.
so if we're going back, it's going to be
It's
me
just gonna
technically.
be you and the kids. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So anything else you want to say about Disney World or your vacation?
That was just the small portion of my vacation.
Hmm. I know
We
you.
also did the Disney cruise as well. And I will say, if you have not done a Disney cruise, that needs to be on your bucket list of things to do.
I know it's pricey. What makes it so great?
It is. So, this is the second one we've done. This is, I would say, technically, this is the first one I've got to do because the first one we did, I had COVID and was in the room the whole time because I was
Oh
sick as
man.
a dog. But this one, nobody got sick, thank goodness, and we fully enjoyed it. So we were on the Disney Wish. It was a 4 day, 3 night cruise. The first day, you're sailing, you're doing your stuff, dinners, everything is included. Everything. And when I say everything, the only things that are not included, they have extra stuff that you can buy, obviously gift shops and alcohol and, little nick kind of stuff like that. Food, you can eat whatever. So you would sit down at whatever themed restaurant. So they had 3 themed restaurants. They had a frozen themed restaurant. So you felt
Hmm.
like you're in like Norway and that kind of stuff. They had it was a Walt Disney and oh, what's his brother's name that took over after he died? Roy
Okay.
Disney. And it was just thing like so art like pictures of their drawings and kind of like history of Disney and that kind of stuff themed
Has Walt's
restaurant.
head just
Yeah,
on.
Walt's head just sitting there, talking, yeah, but no. And then you had a Marvel themed restaurant, which was by
Okay.
far the best one. Each menu's different, but the food was really good.
Hmm.
You had your regular menu, you order your appetizer, main course, dessert, whatever. It You could order literally whatever you wanted, anything. If you wanted a banana with peanut butter on it dipped in chocolate and doo doo sauce,
Oh, okay.
they would bring it to you. I mean, it doesn't matter. It didn't even have to be on the menu. You could be like, oh, yeah, I want a pack of crackers and 3 grapes. They just bring it to you. Doesn't matter what. I mean, they had everything. And like your entree, like they're not huge entrees, but like you get like a little filet mignon or something like that. Like, oh, that was really good. Man, I wish I had another one of those. Well, guess what? If you wanted another one, be like, hey, man, can I get another one of those? They'd be like, yes, sir. I'll bring it to you right away. And like didn't even question it. Here you
Oh
go,
wow.
enjoy. And like it was, oh dude, it was so great. It was, you are waited on hand and foot. Like it is just everything is included. There's an ice cream bar 24/7. You just go up to it, tell them what you want. Flavors rotate every few hours or whatever. There's barbecue, there's pizzas and chicken fingers and that kind of stuff for kids. And it's an amazing experience. I recommend it to everybody.
Well, sounds like you had a fantastic time.
I did. Plus, you get to park in the Bahamas one day and go hang out at the straw market and shop around there. And then one of the next days, you do Disney's private island where you can go to the beach. You could go. We rented bicycles and we trekked across the island like 10 miles or something like that, and enjoyed that. And went to Lookout Tower where you could get up on this tower and you could see like you get up in the tower and you see the whole island from up
Oh,
top.
very cool.
It was really cool. So
Excellent. So, Acid definitely recommends you go to on a Disney cruise.
do it,
We'll
Disney.
definitely do that. So we're getting kind of into the show here. I know we possibly wanted to possibly talk about Diablo. Is there anything that
Yeah.
you quickly want to say about Diablo, or
Well, I've seen you've out leveled me, so I'm a little jealous.
well,
So
so what level are you at? So
you
let
got
me
hey
say
look, you got
one of
a
the very
head start
frustrating.
because you got a head start, okay? Because I was at Disney World and on my Disney cruise, so you had a 7 day head start.
Just getting those levels up, getting those
I know,
legendaries in.
because you hit what 50? You're at 50 now, right?
Well, I'm technically 51 now. I've got
51.
some.
I'm 47, I think. So I'm almost there. This
Mhm.
weekend I will surpass you, sir. It will happen. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, because
Well, very good.
I'll be on it for like 12 hours straight.
Well, hopefully we can run some dungeons together this weekend.
I wanna finish the storyline. The story thus far has been fair. I mean, it hadn't been like mind blowing amazing, but it's for a Diablo
Yeah.
game. It's been pretty good. It's
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than it's better than three's story. I'll give them that. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, but I want to finish the storyline because if you finish the storyline on World Tier 2, you unlock. It's called something. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's a dungeon that you can finish, and that unlocks World Tier 3. And then there's another dungeon that unlocks World Tier 4 right now, which is the highest tier. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you've unlocked the highest tier, then you can start running random dungeons out in the world, that kind of stuff. And that's where all the good gear drops. That's where you want to be. You want to be World Tier 4, which World Tier 5 will be coming soon, I'm sure, with probably Season 1 when it drops in a few months. And, but yeah, you want to be World Tier 4 right now to get all that good loot drop.
I beat the campaign with Roger when we went through it, but apparently I didn't get credit for it. So when I go into my
Mm,
game, I do not have the campaign completed. I have to play it
okay.
again myself.
Gotcha.
So a little frustrating, but yeah. Well, maybe we get some run some dungeons together, get some more codexes. I only have 20% of all the codexes, so I need to do some more, get some more stuff.
It's a game that never ends. So if you like it now, you're gonna be addicted for a long time. It's gonna
Do
happen.
you think they're going to add any new characters to play?
Yes, yes, they will.
What do you think they're going to add, and when are they going to add it?
I don't know when. If Diablo 3 is any kind of map, you could possibly have a demon hunter. You could possibly have a crusader. There's a let's see what else was there. Um, you could have some kind of like hunter or a warlock or something. Like I know they've got the mage and they got the necromancer. Anything's possible at this point
Mm-hmm.
with Diablo, but I would say for sure you got a demon hunter and a crusader probably on the way because druid didn't make it into three. There was no druid.
Mm.
But there was a monk in three, so you could see a monk. I mean, it's very possible to see that. So if they want to make this their cash cow for the next 10 years, yep, they're gonna be adding a bunch of stuff. Probably not all at once because they want to milk you for as much as they can. But I would expect at least 3 to 5 expansions over the life cycle of this game, and at least 3 to 4 more classes during the life cycle of this game.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how long the squad's going to be playing Diablo, but I'll be playing it
Oh,
for.
let me ask you this since you're talking about squads.
Okay, get the squad going.
What is your take on the Call of Duty news that has recently surfaced with Nick Merckx
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Disrespect and Tim the Tap Man and everyone boycotting Call of Duty over
It's
one
not
comment?
everybody boycotting. It's a bunch of, I'll
Yeah.
say it, self-righteous YouTube streamers
Okay.
who are boycotting Call of Duty. And
Okay.
frankly, let me go on the record and say, screw them, screw all of them. I honestly do not care about this idiotic bullshit that they're doing right now.
Okay.
Because to kind of quickly summarize, so one YouTube streamer, it wasn't Nick the Merc, or was it Nick the
It
Merc that
was
actually?
okay. This is how I understand it. Nick Merckx tweeted out a comment. I can't remember who he was commenting to, but it was something to do with like children being
Yeah,
something about like uh
it was an anti-LGBTQ plus
yeah,
comment
like
on Pride
surgery or
during
something on
Pride
kids.
Month.
I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he said leave the children
Basically,
alone and let
he,
or something like that.
because
And
what
let
he
the
was
parents
basically,
deal with
it
it.
was a reference to a common anti-LGBTQ talking point that they're grooming
Yes.
kids, right? So it's
Yes, that's
very,
what it
it
was.
was,
Yep.
yeah. So it was an asshole, bullshit, bigoted comment, right?
Okay.
And then there was backlash, right?
Yep,
And
Activision
then he
took his skin. He has a skin in the game. They removed his skin from the game. That's what happened.
and then Dr. Disrespect
And
decided to make a stand, and all the
yep,
other people
and
decided to
Tim the
make a
Tap Man.
stand.
They all requested that all of their skins also be removed from the game. Which Call
Good.
of Call of Duty said, okay, we're gonna
Take them down.
we will
Who
do that.
gives a who gives a crap? I see. This is what drives me crazy about YouTubers, especially Call of Duty YouTubers. Like they they sure do love themselves. I mean, they sure do have the biggest freaking egos, and this weird stand that they're making is obnoxious. And I'm glad that Call of Duty is not backing down. And frankly, when they if they step down and they don't want to be part of Call of Duty anymore, it lets other YouTubers have a chance to get their platforms up.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else is going to come in, and take over what they're doing. I actually find Dr. Disrespect sort of amusing. Some of the stuff he does, like if you watch some of his videos,
Oh,
some of it crosses the line.
he's very entertaining. I'll give him that.
He's entertaining,
He's very entertaining.
but whatever. I think it's all BS. And you know what? Screw them. If this is what they're stand, this is the stand they're going to take, then bye.
Okay, so let me ask you this: with the comment that Nick Merckx made,
Right.
was it appropriate for Call of Duty to take the action that they did, or should
Yes.
they have just said, "Who cares? I'll just leave him alone. He can say whatever he wants. I don't care. This is a video game. Who gives a rip? Just let him say
Yes.
whatever."
Yes.
So it was
I think it.
appropriate
I think it was.
for
I
Call
think
of
it was.
Duty to make the action that they did.
Yes.
Okay.
During Pride Month, for him to make an anti-LGBTQ plus
What if
comment.
it was not during? What if it was in January?
I mean, yeah, of course, but yeah, but sure, yes.
Okay.
This bigoted bull, and because it's not just bigoted, it's not like he didn't just make an anti-gay joke or anything like that. He made a reference to very troublesome, problematic rhetoric towards the queer community, and frankly, that bullshit needs to be done. And I'm happy. I'm very, very happy that Call of Duty responded. And frankly, anyone else who wants to sort of defend him, bye.
And
That's personally that's my opinion on it.
So what? Okay, I'm curious to know your opinion on this now.
Okay.
The Bud Light fiasco that occurred
Okay.
a month or two ago with Dylan Mulvaney and
Okay.
the boycott of a lot of folks. You saw the videos of like Kid Rock and a bunch of other people like don't buy Bud Light and all this stuff. It's blah 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 whatever. And from what I can tell, I mean, again, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna feed one side or the other. But you can kind of see a decline. I mean, according to several news sources, Bud Light is no longer the number one uh, light selling beer, and it's going down a little more. What
He'll
would
go
you
back up.
say?
He'll go back up.
They will. I do believe they will recover.
They'll start drinking. People will start bringing. It's
I
all.
do believe
It's
that.
become. It's a big.
But
Like
should as from a marketing standpoint, knowing who drinks Bud Light, I mean, let's be honest, we know who drinks Bud Light. Was that the correct move for Bud Light?
First of all, Bud Light didn't do this out of the kindness of their hearts. They didn't do it as sort of like altruistic.
right.
We tolerate everybody. They made a business decision to do this.
Yes.
So either A, they made the wrong business decision, or B, they knew this was the right business decision to make, and they made it based solely on expanding their market. So I mean, let's disband any sort of misnomer that Bud Light did this out of the kindness of their hearts because they're tolerant of all kinds of people. They did it because they wanted to expand their clientele and they wanted to portray themselves as a tolerant company.
And would you say it backfired?
Well, they knew exactly. First of all,
Do you think
we
they
want to
knew
do
it
it.
was going to backfire?
Oh yeah,
Because they've already fired what's her face that was the head of this marketing campaign.
if they didn't know that there was going to be a backlash, they are idiots. But think about it for a second. Like they were in the news
Oh yeah,
and they were trending on social media.
that's true.
And
But
if you
but
believe that
people
any publicity is good publicity, then
but drinkers were switching products. I mean, that's the thing. Like people voted with their wallets at that point.
they'll come back.
I mean,
Bud Light,
I never drank
Bud
Bud Light
Light's gonna be,
anyway.
first of all, Bud Light owns more than just Bud Light. So
Oh yeah,
they may have a dip in Bud Light, but they own so many other types of beers that
oh yeah.
they're fine.
It was like 62 beers or something like that they have.
And
Like
anyways,
Anheuser Busch has.
and beer drinkers are idiots. They don't they like, oh, I'm gonna protest Bud Light, but I'm gonna start drinking this other
I'm gonna go
under
drink
the same
Coors.
company.
Or or like I'm gonna drink Mick Ultra instead.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same company. Yeah. Okay. I was just curious.
I honestly I think it was a business decision. Look at all the other companies. Chick-fil-A has sort of become more tolerant towards the gay community, which was Hobby Lobby. All these companies, because wasn't there backlash between those two companies as well? Weren't people getting outraged over those?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, if there was, I haven't seen it.
All these companies.
I know that Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby are both Christian-based companies. I do know that.
I know, and I think something. Maybe I'm wrong, but there was a big backlash over some decisions that these two companies made.
Maybe. I don't know. If there was, I haven't seen it. Yeah. I was just curious to know your thoughts as a almost PhD in your field of intelligence.
I seriously think that these companies know the direction that the sort of the public perception of LGBTQ communities, they know where we're going in this country. Where they know that we're getting more progressive, more tolerant, and they know like, oh, we can't be that anymore. Like we need to think progressively, or we're going to lose money. And if they didn't expect a backlash, I'm pretty certain they knew that there was going to be some sort of backlash, and I'm pretty sure
you can't make everybody happy. You can't do it. If there's one thing I have learned in this life, especially in the jobs that I've had, management that I've been in, there is one solid truth in this physical world that I know to be correct, and that is you cannot make everybody happy. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem making some asshole who says that gay people are grooming kids or somehow destructive to children. I have no problem with that asshole being disbanded from the community. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem making that person unhappy. Because if you have a platform and you've sort of been profiting off your platform in Call of Duty, and if you want to go out on a limb and say, I'm going to attack this community, then I have no problem saying, bye. Get out of here. Like if your platform is hate, bye. I don't have a problem upsetting you. So
so if Call of Duty came out with a Donald Trump skin, would you stop playing Call of Duty?
No, because I don't care.
Or something like that. Like
because that's not so I think it's very important to mention that LGBTQ plus rights is not political. Well, it is political, but it shouldn't be politicalized. So it should not be on the same.
You're right.
It should not be on the same platform as Donald Trump skin.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
just because he's well, Donald Trump's a special case, but like George W. Bush,
Okay, all right,
Ronald Reagan.
that's
How
fair.
about that?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan. How about
Okay.
and Barack
All right.
Obama?
All right.
Right. So like if they had those skins,
Okay.
who
Who
cares?
cares? Yeah. Who cares?
That's not the same thing as some person saying that gay people are hurting our kids. That person
Okay.
can go fuck himself
Yeah.
for all I care. And I'm glad everything that is happening to this person, I'm 100% on board with.
Gotcha.
Although I'm sure he's fine. And in fact, he's probably gotten more subscribers and more likes. I'm sure he's been. I'm sure
Oh
he's.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure.
he's doing way better than he was before. And I'm pretty sure he's going to run with it too, painting himself as a victim. I'm sure he's going to be doing that. We're talking politics here, the sci-fi gangsters.
This is a very look at me kind of world these days. Like it's very social media and all that stuff. Like it's a very look at what I'm doing. Look at this.
And Doctor Disrespects, he knows that commenting on this and making a stand is going to get him more likes and views, and
the difference between like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tapman and Dr. Disrespect and all these others is Dr. Disrespect is not Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect is a character.
Yeah.
Guy Beam is the man behind Dr. Disrespect. So is Dr. Disrespect doing this because it's in his character's
that's a murky line. That is a blurry line.
Because what does Guy Beam believe, or does it matter? Of course it doesn't matter. But like, where's the line?
If we're making this, if we're saying this is satire, like that's all. Like I think that's a stretch. To be honest with you, I think it's a stretch to say it's satire.
It could.
Now he may be playing up a character, but if he's doing all this, well, maybe he is. I
don't know. I mean, it's
Dr. Disrespect is not making a comment on his character. He's not making a comment on society by playing out this character.
Because I would think if it was him himself, Guy Beam, the man behind the mask, he would take off the wig, he would take off the headset, and he would say something out of character because he's done that before.
Okay, fair enough.
Years ago, he cheated on his wife one time, and he was very upset and apologetic about it. He took everything off. He apologized and all that stuff, like as the man himself. But like he has,
I actually don't know.
He hasn't done that with this.
I actually don't know Dr. Disrespect's. Like, where does he stand on Nick the Merc? Is it like? I mean, is he just doing the whole freedom of speech thing? Is that what he's doing?
I really don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know where he stands.
I think Nick started this whole thing, and then they're all kind of like a grouped community, like together. And of course, with that community, I don't know if they're all sponsored by the same people or what. Like, I don't know how that works, but like I think they're just standing with each other. I don't know if it's because they have to or they just want to. Like, I don't know. Like there's again, where's that line to see like what the public sees and what's happening actually behind the scenes?
Also, Call of Duty has the most toxic fan base.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so they're not helping their case by taking this stand. There's like this bro.
And it may just be they needed to create drama. Maybe they just needed to create a boost of drama, and this was just the outlet that they decided to do that in. Like,
I'm sure.
I really don't know. Like,
I'm sure that plays into it. I don't think Nick Namerck's original comment was designed for that. I think he really believes that, which makes it worse.
I don't know.
I think he really believes that. So, once again, I'll say it. Fuck him.
I never watched him or knew who he was until this came out. I'd heard his name before, but I had no idea like who he was or anything like that. Like,
what's the comment section saying? Is he?
Oh man, it's really raging now. Let me tell you,
it's raging right now. People are just like, how dare you guys talk about politics? You guys are.
How dare you? Yeah.
I watched this show to.
I was rambling, hoping Jeremy would pop in to give his 2 cents, but apparently his internet is still down. So
I guess so.
I guess we're just gonna have to end the show and then play some
Yeah,
Diablo. Yeah.
let's do it. I'll play for about 30 minutes of some Diablo. All right. We'll go ahead and end the show there. Once again, you can always check out all our episodes on YouTube and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm
Yes.
Anthony Nard. That's Acid Train. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya, folks.